morning.
So how did you get started on your phenology work?
Well, let's see. My first summer here was 1971, and I took a couple of classes. Decided it looked like a great place to do research, and I started graduate school that fall after my first summer here, and got started on a project involving hummingbirds, and then switched to bumblebees, and then I needed to know something about the floral resources for those pollinators, and there was a group of us actually interested in pollination and flowering in 1973. So, and at the end of the year, we had some interesting information about how many species will come into bloom in a 2x2 meter plot during the course of the summer, and how long does each of them last. And but it seemed like we could get another interesting perspective on phenology if we were to continue that study for a second year and see how different things were from one year to the next. Almost every year since 1973, we've checked all the flowers in these plots.
What in your opinion, is the significance of having 40-something years of data?
Well, it turns out, perhaps fortuitously, that this is a good time to be collecting long-term data because of the fact that the environment seems to be changing relatively rapidly in the last decade or two. And so, to some degree, what we have is some before data, and some during data, and I don't know if we'll ever have after data, after a manipulation or a change, but it's been fortuitous to have the data collection going on at this time.
Do you think it would be useful to have another 40 years of data?
I think so. Partly to answer some of the same kinds of questions that I've tried to answer with the existing data, and partly because these data also become useful for other people here at ONBL.
How many flowers or plants do you think you've actually counted over the last 40 years?
We did a rough count a couple years ago, and I'm trying to remember what that number was, but it was somewhere over 1 million flowers, I think, that we've counted.
What would you say is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Well, out here, I guess I've had road-killed grouse, marmot, deer, maybe just those 3 species as roadkill. I've had road-killed pheasant once. Tried road-killed possum and decided that wasn't very good. That was back in Maryland.
What is the significance of having students come up here every summer and be involved, like hands-on in your research? Like, why is that important?
Oh, a variety of reasons. I think one is that it helps to train the next generation of people. So many of the long-term researchers out here, including myself, are people who first came out here as students and got intrigued with the idea of doing research, got intrigued with the idea of working here. And so I think there's a long history of that kind of a track record. And not just specifically to train people to do work here in Gothic, but to do research in general, I think is an important thing to be training students for that.